When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above and its two ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act like a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with its path high above and its two ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Hi everyone, my name is Amelia Cameron, and I had surgery at Yeson on August 21st, 2018. So it has been a little bit more than 14 months since I had the surgery. And I'm recording this video to talk a little bit about my experience and how my voice has progressed over the last 14 months. So my experience at Yeson was really amazing overall. It was fantastic. Jessie especially was really great. Everyone was so welcoming. I arrived in Seoul with my best friend. I think it was a couple of days before I had a pre-op appointment. And I believe that was on a Monday, and then Tuesday was the operation itself. I remember that I woke up and I almost immediately said hello to a nurse, and she said, no, you shouldn't be talking. And I learned very quickly that, for the first month of the recovery process, you're not supposed to be talking, which was, in retrospect, a little bit difficult, but well worth it. The month of no speaking, I quickly learned to use just a little bit of sign language to communicate with folks if I was going to get groceries or something like that. And it was honestly not too bad, although in the moment it did seem fairly difficult to not say a single word for an entire month. Although I'm sure I messed up here and there a couple of words on accident. The second month, then I was able to start speaking. I spoke in very short bursts, just little sentences here and there, saying little things, tried to use my voice to a bare minimum as much as possible. And then in the third month, I could really tell that kind of some of the hoarse quality of my voice was going away, and my voice was starting to improve. And from there, it was just a very kind of gradual improvement. Over the coming months. I had the Botox injection a couple days after my surgery, and that began to wear off. I believe it was 4 or 5 months after the procedure. And after that, I was instructed to start taking the clonazepam, and that was mostly okay, although there was a period where I ran out of it, and there's some miscommunication where I didn't have more clonazepam to start, so I accidentally went through withdrawal period from the clonazepam before eventually starting it up again, and then I'm just now finishing up the last of the clonazepam that I will be taking. And so what that does is it helps control the vocal tremors in your voice as you adjust kind of to the new shape of your vocal folds. And I did have some difficulty in getting kind of more clonazepam refills because I think it was kind of an unfamiliar reason for having the medication for many doctors, at least in the United States. And so that's another thing. I'm based in Madison, Wisconsin, near Chicago, in the United States. And another thing about my experience is that I was able to sing fully, which at first, honestly, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. It seemed to be a very slow process, but I was able to sing and utilize kind of my new range. That's still kind of a developing thing, and I imagine over the next year or so that will continue to change, and I'm looking forward to that. But I can also kind of, shout or yell or whisper and use my voice in whatever way that I want to. And it does just feel very, very natural. I am very, very, very happy with the results overall. I have no issues at all with things, like getting misgendered on the phone or anything like that. On the phone, it's very, very easy and straightforward. I never have to think about my voice anymore. I just kind of use it as I will, and it's great, and it's fine. It's really, I would say, improved my quality of life a lot having this surgery, and especially now that I'm fully recovered, I'm really happy with how my voice is. And what else would I say? And yeah, I would say that the recovery process does take a fair bit of time, but it's well worth the wait. You have that month of not talking, and then a month of not talking as much for a bit. But really, the use of my voice extends into so many aspects of my life, and even with things like coughing, laughing, things like that. The effects of the procedure still come through, and it doesn't ever really sound artificial to me in any way, and it just produces this natural voice that I really enjoy, and I would definitely do it all over again with Yeson, and had a really amazing experience. Also, the other thing that Jesse asked to talk about was the any things I did to increase the pitch as my voice progressed. So I did pretty regularly follow the instructions for the voice rehabilitation exercises. So these were supposed to be repeated as a set, essentially 4 or 5 times a day. Especially at the beginning, I was very rigorous in following these and doing them kind of step by step, exactly as Jesse and the other staff had laid them out for me. And I think, admittedly, towards the end, I didn't always get it in every day. I didn't always get in 4 or 5 times. But I think something that did help a little bit towards the end of my recovery process was not focusing too much on them. I think it became a really, really strong focus for me to always try and get them in. And after communicating with Jessie a little bit about that, I think she was suspecting, and Dr. Kim was suspecting, that perhaps that was putting a little bit too much strain on my voice. And so I then kind of dialed back down to kind of repeating certain parts of the rehabilitation exercises regularly throughout the day, but not focusing exactly on getting the full sets completed. So while I think it was probably important for that initial aspect of the recovery to repeat everything regularly and do the whole sets, including all the different exercises, I think towards the end it was more important that I just had that regularity of doing the exercise, of part of the exercises, but maybe not necessarily completing the full set. So yeah, I think that's about it. I could not recommend Yeson more. It is well worth the travel out to South Korea from whatever country you're coming from. I had an amazing experience with Jessie, Dr. Kim, and the staff at Yeson, and my voice feels natural, fully recovered. It's everything I could have ever hoped for, and yeah, I really thank everyone there, and if you're considering going to Yeson, I absolutely recommend it. Thanks.